Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. David and I are going to do a reading tonight. Tonight being Thursday, March the 5th. He's got a meeting, work meeting. In the meantime, I thought, well, maybe I'll do a little solo reading here while I'm waiting for David. I suspect he and I are going to read on Christy Nome losing her job, but immediately getting a new job. So I'm sure she's in bright spirits right now. But it occurred to me that I haven't heard much from JD Vance lately. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the news, especially in the Middle East, and we haven't heard anything. And I mean nothing from JD Vance. I was reading some articles that JD Vance basically Trump has killed any opportunity for JD Vance in the 2028 presidential run with how he's handling what's going on in the Middle East. Of course, that assumes that the Middle East doesn't come out to be this wildly successful and smart move on the United States' part. I tend to believe that it probably won't come out that way, but if it did, then JD Vance would look like a damn hero. Hey, keep the momentum going, right? But assuming that what's going on in the Middle East is considered to be a bad thing and people are going to be angry and resentful and let the Republican Party have it not only in the midterms but in the 2028 presidential election, let's take a look at how JD Vance is doing these days. How he's feeling about his future and what his future looks like. Entertainment purposes only. We'll just sort of jump right into it. Hope you're all having a great Thursday. I guess Friday or Saturday when this finally comes out. So how is JD Vance feeling? Because he was one of the folks that thought maybe attacking Iran wasn't in the United States' best interest. And they basically ignored him like they always do. So how is JD Vance feeling about things right now? Foundation of the reading, the Four of Pentacles. This is about, I could take this two ways. This is JD Vance sort of consolidating things of value, basically keeping to himself, keeping his ideas to himself, keeping a low profile. This could also be JD Vance understands that Trump is just going to get his way. And even though JD Vance in the past has been kind of the person to take the contrarian role to Trump's ideas, he always gets ignored. And this, how's he feeling? My first, whenever I see this card, I think of Trump. And my feeling is that JD Vance is just looking at, this is Trump going for everything that he wants. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what my position is. Trump's going to get what he wants. The challenge is the hangman. Because I look at what he wants to do, I look at it from a different perspective. And that causes stress between him and Trump. Energy underneath it is the lovers. Their relationship is not good. They should have a very close relationship, especially with all of the divisive actions that Trump has taken, and JD Vance being kind of the good boy backing his man. But underneath it, their relationship's not good. His actions and JD Vance's different viewpoint is affecting their relationship and on a fundamental level. They just don't agree on things. In the past, you got the Three of Pentacles. People in the back room say, hey, Trump, we want you to have JD Vance as your boy. Or working with JD Vance to get him in the position that he's in. Current energy is the Two of Wands. So how is JD Vance feeling about things right now? He needs to figure out what actions he wants to take that impact his future. He right now he's keeping a low profile, and he's thinking about what he needs to do in the future, what actions he needs to take. Overarching energy is strength. So you've got a relationship that's not working out, but you have to show everyone how strong your relationship is. Lesson to be learned: Nine of Pentacles. Wait your turn. Let the cholesterol do its job. So right now he's it's a very passive card. He will offer his advice. He will offer he will offer his advice and assistance as it is requested. But he's taking a very passive role in all this. How's he feeling? He's looking towards his future. What opportunities he's got going on in the future. To me, you could almost read this as a health reading. Trump's Trump's holding on dear life to his health. You got the hangman underneath. He's throwing explanations that don't make sense. He doesn't like the position that he's in. Um, it's the relationship that he has with his doctors, with the people around him. Keeping his health secret. You got people working the background on his health, looking at future actions because his health is bad. Trump's trying to be strong, but JD Vance knows that if he waits long enough, he's going to get all the things of value. That's just kind of a fun health reading, but what I truly think here is that right now JD Vance is sort of persona non grata, and he is going to keep a low profile because I think he understands right now that whole Seven of Pentacles is that he needs to look out for his own future and what's best for his future. He needs to read the tea leaves on how MAGA is going to react to Trump's little police action in Iran, and JD Vance needs to know which way the wind's blowing because we all know he's a chameleon and he just goes wherever the wind blows. He's got no convictions whatsoever. The conviction is I want to be president, and so whichever way the wind blows that gets him the closest to that goal is the direction he's going to go. So right now I think he's just sort of sitting back and letting things unfold to see where they're going. What does JD Vance's future look like after 2026? What does his political future look like after the midterm elections in 2026? Foundation is the Hermit. Trying to find the truth, trying to find the path forward. It's like he's lost. He needs to do some soul searching. This tells me that maybe the midterms aren't going to go so well for JD Vance. The challenge is the Knight of Wands. He needs to find the path forward because he needs to take action. But I think what it is he doesn't know what action he needs to take. Underneath it again, you got the Lover's card. Oh boy. How's he feeling after the midterms? Is the Lovers in this case his relationship with MAGA and his supporters? Could be. It was his relationship with Trump on the previous reading. I'm going to keep an open mind on that. But the energy underneath is something to do with deep relationships and understandings. A fundamental relationship, not just saying I love you and I hear you. It's like your actions need to speak louder than your words. You need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. In the past, you have the High Priestess. You have secrets being kept. A lot of major arcana in this. Current energy is the Page of Pentacles. This is all about trying to bring something new of value forward. Trying to highlight how I am useful and I am valuable and I have these great ideas and I'm your best alternative. because once we get to the midterms, Trump's a lame duck. I mean, frankly, he's probably a lame duck already. Well, he's just lame, but he'll be a lame duck soon enough. So he's got to come up with some new sort of messaging that shows, hey, here's how I look at things and how I can bring value to things. Overarching energy, there's your Three of Pentacles. You have to have the support from the folks in the back. The people with the money that, the kingmakers, he needs to get their support. So how are things looking after the midterms? 10 of Pentacles is the lesson to be learned. It's either it's the legacy card, and he's going to be tied to Trump's legacy. That's why he needs to come up with his own messaging, because the lesson is you tied yourself to Trump's legacy, just like MAGA tied themselves to Trump's legacy. Whatever happens, MAGA and J.D. Vance, they're tied to this. The outcome, 7 of Cups. There's delusions. Don't believe what you're seeing. It's a situation where there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on, and what you think you see is not what's really happening. I wonder if that's polling or messaging that's coming out of the White House. We know that whatever they say is a bunch of bullshit, right? So the outcome is he's going to try and come up with some sort of messaging or whatnot that shows that he's got this new approach or these new ideas, but people are going to they're going to tie him to Trump's legacy and just say he's full of bullshit. And it may be sad because he may actually have some really good ideas or some really good plans of action, but his being tied to Trump's legacy and the crazy of that administration is probably going to be a weight on him. And maybe that's what it is with that 7 of Cups, where Trump's like delusional and crazy, and why didn't you step in, JD? Or maybe Trump's delusional and crazy, and JD does step in. Maybe that's the lesson to be learned. Was Trump's legacy is over, and it's over because he's crazy. He lost his marbles. Okay, so let's take a look. Is J.D. Vance going to assume the role of president in 2027? Will he be President Vance in 2027 or 2028? This is really entertainment purposes only. Hey, take this with a grain of salt, folks. I'm just asking a question. Let's see what I get. Little 4-carder. See what I get out of this. Will J.D. Vance ascend to the Iron Throne in the last 2 years here? What do we need to see? Okay, that's the path he wants to be on. We had that as the foundation of the previous one. Finding that path forward. How do I get to the Iron Throne? How do I get to the top? Page of Cups. The challenge is Trump's getting loonier. Or it could be you were supporting the looniness. Queen of Wands. It's about taking a lot of actions. And you have a choice. And then you've got the Moon card, where there's confusion and not a clear path forward. I think it's almost like he's struggling with 25th Amendment time. So, the last time I did a Trump health reading, I kind of saw he was going to be out of power in the 3rd month of this year. And we are now in the 3rd month of this year. Of course, I did ask that question probably back in November. Maybe December. I can't remember exactly which. It was a few months ago. And tarot's terrible at timing. And and it could just be my complete misinterpretation of the cards. I always remember the card. It was the Four Swords, and it's like, okay, well, my gut feeling at the time seeing the card, it was something's going to happen in the probably in the third month, and on the fourth month he's done. Um, this would indicate, at least at some point in JD Vance's future, he's looking at 20. I think he's considering 25th Amendment, and he's trying to find that path forward, and that would be very consistent between the last two throws or amongst those throws that I've done. Those all seem to be consistent, kind of a theme going on there. That's what I got for you. Our boy JD. Hey, one more. How's Usha feeling about their relationship right now? Just for shits and giggles here. How's Usha feeling? Oh, there goes my phone. Okay, Usha. You got the Emperor being the boss, being in charge. Okay. Okay. How's Usha feeling? God. Oh my. Okay, how's Usha feeling? I think she is concerned that he's actually going to be in charge, or is this her relationship with JD? Is this JD's relationship with Trump, or is this JD's future? So you got the Emperor. The main clarifier is the Three of Pentacles. People working in the background to make him the king. The other clarifiers, the Red Hats giving back. This is kind of a nostalgia card, showing a kindness to those that are less than you. But then you've got the Moon card, which is confusion and not a clear path. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Once again, I can totally read this that Trump's losing his grip on power. So how is she feeling? She's seeing the backroom deals that's either propping up Trump. He's clearly regressing. His mind and his abilities are confused, and they're hiding his shortcomings. And the energy underneath is that Five of Swords. They don't want to give up Trump. They want him to stay in the fight as long as possible. And they'll do whatever it takes. Whoever's supporting him or propping him up is going to do whatever it takes. She may have a lot more understanding of what's going on than anyone is giving her credit. I imagine JD Vance confides a bit in his wife. And she may know a bit more what's going on behind the scenes. And that may be what those cards are showing there. Very consistent amongst all the readings, I have to say. A lot of overlapping cards. The message is completely consistent. What a world we're living in, huh? Hey, thanks so much for watching. Sorry, these readings are not always going to be uplifting and fun. It happens. Sorry about that. I'm calling it like I see it. I'm trying not to be overly biased. I'm not going to say I'm unbiased because that just simply wouldn't be true. I am biased. But try and be as balanced as I can. And I just want to give a thanks to Elise Arnu. Elise Arnu made a kind donation to the channel. Thank you so much, Elise. Dave and I truly appreciate when you do that. Of course, Dave would appreciate it more if I told him, but what he doesn't know profits me. And that's why he and I are such great partners in this, because I don't tell him what he doesn't need to know. Anyways, thank you so much for your donation. For the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. I hope you're having a great Friday or a great weekend whenever this video lands, and we'll catch you soon. Take care, folks. Bye.